doomed. You're all doomed.
It must be my imagination.
Hey guys, I'm Kevin,
I'm Jake.
and this is Movie Matters. It is October, so you know what that means. Scary, spooky shit. Some scary movies, some horror movies coming this month, and we're starting with Friday the 13th from 1980, directed by Sean S. Cunningham. Jake, I believe you said this was your first time seeing it.
Yeah,
Wild.
this is like this movie got spoiled for me like a long time ago, so I just never watched it.
What specific part? That it's the mom?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I was just like, all right, I don't need to watch it. But yeah, I'm glad I did because it's pretty good.
Yeah, super solid. Back when I was in like 5th grade, I went on like a horror kick and started watching all these classic horror movies, including all the Friday. Like I owned all the Friday the 13th on DVD, all of the Nightmare on Elm Streets on DVD, and a handful of other horror movies. I just kind of got on a horror kick at a young age, which is kind of concerning. But I hadn't rewatched. I don't think I've rewatched any of those movies besides maybe Freddy versus Jason, because that one's more recent-ish. And like the new Friday the 13th. I've only watched all these movies like once. So I hadn't seen this movie probably since like 5th or 6th grade. Maybe 8th grade, in that range. I don't remember. I just remember watching them, and I'm pretty sure because my sister had these friends that were kind of goth-like. They were all, all in black fingernails, and they loved like scary movies. They're the kinds of guys that shopped at Hot Topic, which is fine. It's like, I mean, I went there because I was kind of influenced by them because of their style, and like they liked horror movies. I was like, oh, like you guys are cool, like movies, and so I started watching that, like these movies because of them, and I believe they were in 8th grade, and like 8th grade or like freshman year of high school, and they introduced me to them, and I was probably like 6th grade when I watched all this, which is pretty crazy, because this movie is very bloody. It's very gory.
But like that's it. Like, I don't think it would be PG-13 today, but like it's pretty close. Like, it's mostly just bloody and a little gory, but
I think the practical effects are super well done. Tom Savini from Dawn of the Dead did these effects, and I think he did a really good job.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved the first 45 minutes. I was like, man, this movie's actually like really good. And then the last 45 minutes kind of drag a little bit for me. And I kind of became a little disinterested. And there's it's just, I don't know. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. I give it like a 3 out of 5. But there's a shit ton of trivia on it. I was talking to Jake about this before we started rolling. And I got a lot of the stuff I found interesting. I mean, first off, what's crazy is the director, Sean S. Cunningham, got financing for the film solely based on the title shot, Friday the 13th, approaching the camera and breaking glass. He had no script, no idea, and they're just like, yeah, we love that. What? Okay. This movie was only made on a $550,000 budget, and it made $60 million worldwide. So
Yeah,
like
that's
100
insane.
times its budget, which is crazy. And they did not, like, people did not expect this movie to be successful, let alone spawn a huge franchise. I mean, there's like 12 Friday the 13th, I'm pretty sure.
There's 10.
Because Jason X
There's a
is 10.
reboot and Freddy vs. Jason. So yeah, 12, right?
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, 12. and I've seen all of them. So I take it since you hadn't seen this one, you've not seen any of the others?
I don't think I've seen any of the other. I watched Freddy vs. Jason actually.
Okay.
But yeah, I haven't seen any of the other ones.
Interesting. Jason X is a wild movie. It takes place in like the 2500s, and
Yeah.
he's in space, and it's fucking weird. But yeah, this movie, this movie was the 18th highest grossing film of the year, and it had a lot of competition. The Shining being one of them. John Carpenter's The Fog, which have you
Oh.
seen that?
I think so.
That's a pretty cool movie.
Yeah, it is a cool movie.
Prom Night, which I have not seen, and Dress to Kill, which I have not seen.
I haven't seen either of those either.
But it made a ton of money, obviously. I mean, this movie took a lot of inspiration from Halloween. It's argued that Halloween from 78, John Carpenter, is one of the first slashers. You could argue that Psycho from 60 is a slasher as well. But this movie took very heavy influence from Psycho and and Halloween.
Yeah.
But it was also inspired by Meatballs, which is like a teen sex comedy. So they wanted to combine the two ideas, a slasher and like a sex comedy almost, or like teens having sex, because that's really what these movies are all about. It's like, camp kids are having sex. You're not allowed to do that, and you let my kid drown, and I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's like Friday. Well, I mean, you can go back to Psycho. Like the hallmark of slasher movies is that like kids are doing things they're not supposed to do, and they're punished by some kind of like supernatural force.
Exactly. Yeah, but in this, the director wanted the characters to actually like be somewhat tough. It's not like they don't defend themselves. It's just like they get surprised killed.
Right.
Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? So,
Which, like Halloween is kind of that way too.
surprise kill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quite a few of the people that die in Halloween are just like jump killed, like
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the definition of slasher too. I feel like that's very of the style. I mean, some of the kills are pretty interesting in this. The soundtrack is iconic, and what's funny is I always thought it was like that's what I thought the soundtrack is, but it's not. It's key ma ma ma. And the reason they did that is it's supposed to resemble Jason's voice saying "kill, kill, kill, mom, mom, mom."
Oh, that's
Isn't that interesting? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And it's like it was inspired by Betsy Palmer, her Mrs. Voorhees, excuse me, her scene where she chants like "Get her, mommy, kill her," and basically like recorded that into a mic and was like, "Ooh, cool! This is a cool effect." So pretty interesting there. I had no idea because I'm always like, I think even in the last video I did that, like
Yeah.
literally before anything, like, like so funny that it's contrary to popular belief. We got Kevin Bacon in the movie. What do you think of the cast? Like, do you think they're good actors? What do you think?
I think they're fine for like, a low budget slasher movie. Like,
Yeah, they're all from like a Broadway house. They pulled like all these actors, very low budget. This is also contrary to popular belief. This is not Kevin Bacon's first movie,
yeah.
but it also helped launch his career and made him more famous.
So he, what was right after this for him? Is it like Footloose or something?
No, no, I saw it in the trivia. What he like went on to do. It's not a movie either of us have seen. I can guarantee
Yeah.
you that. But Not that it's
The
a bad
six,
movie. I don't
6
know.
Degrees started right around here.
Yeah, and then him also just like every time I see Kevin Bacon, I kind of think of the scene from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles where he's racing to get the cab against Steve Martin
Yeah.
in the beginning. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
Kevin Bacon. But I think all the actors are pretty decent in this movie. I don't think they're like terrible. And like when I was watching it again, like I said, I like the first 45 minutes because it gives you that camp feel. And what's funny is the screenwriters weren't ever in a camp, from what I read. Like they had never been in a camp, so a lot of the dialogue is improvised. And I think they did a good job. Like them, the only funny part to me is like you've got Alice, played by Adrienne King. She's the main character, the final girl. And there's a part where she's talking with Steve, like the camp owner or
Yeah.
something. And she's like hammering in the gutter, and she like gets off the ladder, moves it a centimeter, gets back up, and hammers it again. Like hammers a different nail. I was like, ow, hurts her hand. I was like, that, just like watching the little like things some of these characters do. You're just like, that doesn't make any sense. But
Yeah.
but like I think the acting's pretty good, but I think some of it's a little dated and cringy a little bit. Like Steve, how old is Steve? He's in jean shorts and like he's shirtless the whole fucking movie with a bandana around his neck for the most part, and he's like putting his hands all over Alice.
With
I was
like a bunch of like 16-year-olds or whatever.
Yeah. Like
Yeah, he's kind of a creep.
yeah, that was pretty interesting. Also, is this a plot hole? And I don't know. When the main girl the girl in the beginning, Annie, who like
Yeah.
gets picked up by the truck driver, and everyone's like, "Don't go to Camp Crystal Lake." You know, they're all like, yeah, you got the crazy towns guy,
Ralph or whatever.
Yeah, Ralph. His face, he's always like, yeah.
You're gonna fucking die.
There's always some warning that no one heeds. You know.
Well, quick side note on him. Like, I didn't realize that like this movie is what everyone's spoofing with, like the crazy old man who like starts warning you about shit. You know, like, because that's also like a staple of slashers and like slasher parodies. You know.
Yeah. But her in the plot hole I was getting at is Annie in the beginning. She gets like picked up in the same Jeep that Steve drives out of the camp.
Yeah.
Like, did Mrs. Voorhees just so happen to have the same car or steal it? I was kind of confused by that.
It seems like she drives the same car, because that she shows up in that same Jeep at the
I know.
ends too. So, yeah, I assumed that. Well, so I think the only indicator is that is being. Sorry, the only indicator that it's a different car is that hers has the top up and Steve leaves with the top down.
Yeah, but then his top is up at the restaurant
Yeah,
because it's obviously raining.
yeah.
So that makes sense. But like to have the same kind of old school renegade army Jeep is kind of like, honestly, what it comes down to is budget.
Probably, yeah.
And that's probably why they did that. But it was just interesting to me.
It's an interesting like mechanic, I think, because at first you think that Steve is the
Yeah.
one that kills her, but then you see his car at the diner and he's like eating, you know, in the rain and stuff, and it's like, oh, so it's not Steve. So then who is it? You know, it's like an interesting way to like keep you on your toes, I guess, whether it's intentional or not.
Let's see. I just Googled it real quick. However, a second blue Jeep is also used by the killer. Use of the same model Jeep allows for a misdirect, making the audience believe Steve is the killer before revealing true killer is Pamela Voorhees. So, I get it. There's supposed to be two separate vehicles. Yeah, by random chance, two people in the town have similar cars. I don't know. And it's like a 60s Jeep.
Yeah. Well,
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
like, if you want to get like really conspiratorial about it, like maybe she purposefully buys the same car as him so that
Yeah.
she can commit the murders because it's, you know, she's out of her mind. So,
Yeah.
who knows?
I love the POV shots, like the very voyeuristic POV shots, but like some of the time it's like this lady, you know, Mrs. Voorhees is point blank to like Alice goes down to talk to Bill, who's like painting a fence or whatever, and then she's like point blank to her, like hiding behind trees. I'm like,
Yeah, it's a bit of a stretch.
yeah. I mean, I get it. It's a style, and I like the style, and it's creepy because it's that voyeuristic view of someone's watching you, and you don't know who it is. But the movie does a good job of kind of slowly revealing certain clues about this character and who they are. Like, you get when she kills Annie in the forest, you see the shoes and pants, which look kind of like masculine pants. It doesn't look like a woman's pants. So you do think it's Steve. There is that misdirection. And then you get like a hand brushing the like trees out of the way, and there's like a ring on the finger, and it's like that's a big ring, and it kind of looks like a woman's hand, but you can't really tell. And then when she calls Ned to come into that, like, or like doesn't call Ned, but she's like standing outside that cabin and
Yeah.
kind of like slowly retreats in. You kind of see her a little bit, and it's like it's cool to see these kind of reveals.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. I mean, another reason the budgets were so low is like these sets were already built. This camp was a real camp. It still is a real camp and is standing to this day where kids go to camp. And there's like a memorabilia wall at the camp, which is pretty cool. Camp Crystal Lake. Pretty cool. I mean, it's iconic. It's literally become iconic in pop culture, Camp Crystal
Yeah.
Lake. And the hockey mask, which is funny because this movie doesn't mention
have that
Jason.
at all.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
have that. And it doesn't, like, Jason's not mentioned until, like,
The very end.
Yeah,
By
like-
name. He's not mentioned until
7/8 of the way through.
yeah.
Literally, I like looked at it. It's like an hour and 16 in, and the movie's like an hour and 30 minutes, hour
Yeah.
and 35 minutes. So,
They just refer to him as like the boy that drowned or like
Yeah.
whatever up until that point.
yeah. I mean, the opening is kind of brutal, where you get the two teens kind of fooling around, and then they get like the guy gets like stabbed, I think, in the stomach, and like falls against there, and then she goes to kill the other person. Pretty interesting. And then there's like the stupid line that Annie, the girl who dies, who gets like picked up by the truck driver and then gets picked up by Mrs. Voorhees in the Jeep. She gets killed like right before, I think she's talking with the truck driver, and she's like, "I hate when they call them kids. You know, it sounds like little goats." Like, what?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's always funny to like read into these lines, you know. The scene with the snake is very interesting. That was a real snake, and they killed that snake for real. And basically, the special effects guy, Tom Savini, borrowed the snake from one of the crew members, and didn't tell him they were going to kill it, and they killed it, and the owner was like pissed and like cried. It was his pet snake.
That's kind of shitty.
But pretty, yeah. And they did that. They wanted that as a plot device because they wanted to differentiate themselves from Halloween and like know like these characters can defend themselves. That's
Yeah.
literally what that scene is supposed to be about, which is pretty interesting. But again, no one really gets a chance except Alice at the end.
Yeah.
And there's a giant cat fight, which is always hilarious. Like that fight is always kind of funny to me because they like beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah, it's pretty long and intense.
Yeah. But there's like the scene where Jack and Marcy, so you've got Kevin Bacon's character, they bang, and then he gets the arrow through the neck.
Mm-hmm.
That is a pretty cool scene. The arrow through the neck, not the banging. But what's funny is I read that Sean Cunningham, the director, started in softcore porn and eventually transitioned into horror. And the same thing, I didn't know this, Wes Craven also the same.
No.
Wes Craven's Nightmare on Elm Street. But they produced the horror movie The Last House on the Left together, which I've never seen. But that arrow through the neck, apparently they had like his whole rest of his body was like latex.
Mm-hmm.
And he had to like stick his head up through a hole through the bottom of the bed, and he had to do that for hours, and it was like super uncomfortable. And they had to like, the special effects guy blew like the blood through a straw, and that's why it's bubbling and like gurgling, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's kind of neat.
So again, very, very bloody. I was surprised.
Like, I found it really interesting that, like, except for that one, basically every kill happens off camera.
Mm-hmm.
And then they show you the aftermath, which is also just like gory and bloody.
Yeah.
It's like, it's an interesting choice. I mean, it's probably a practical thing. Like, you know, it's hard to like actually show like the kill on camera, you know?
Yeah.
So like you just show the aftermath and it's just like a practical effect or whatever, you know? But I thought that was kind of a cool way to deal with that. But I think you do get the Kevin Bacon one is particularly, I think, cool because you do actually get to see it and like.
Agreed. What's funny is these like famous people, I mean pre-fame, they die in these movies. Like you got Kevin Bacon dying in this movie, you got Johnny Depp dying in Nightmare on Elm Street. Have you seen Nightmare on Elm Street?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Spoiler alert for people who have not. But the movie's old. You had
Doesn't
your
he
chance.
get like sucked into a bed and it turns into like a vortex tornado of blood?
Yes. Yes. It's really gory.
Yeah.
But that movie made him
Nightmare
famous.
on Elm Street is like crazy bloody. But
Yeah.
like ridiculous bloody. It's not like
Yeah, like when the girl gets like sucked up onto the like ceiling of there and she's having the nightmare and there's like blood everywhere. Yeah, that movie's crazy. Like this movie was like decently creepy. Like
this movie's pretty
It's-
well done. Like
Yeah.
all around. I mean like you said, there's like a little bit like goofy like dialogue and like it's like a little cheesy at times, but like I think it's still got a little bit of like 70s aesthetic and like, you know, kind of mentality, you know? 'Cause, I mean, it came out in 80, so
Yeah.
you know, it's still that like transition period into like the real 80s.
Yeah, definitely. Even in the costuming you could tell it's kind of
Yeah.
70s wardrobe. Like yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was like the influences are like really clear. Like the music is like straight out of Psycho. At first I thought they actually stole the Psycho theme. It's like me
Interesting.
and my wife were like, that's like the actual like shower scene music, right? Like so I had to Google it and I was like, it's like, well, it's heavily influenced by Psycho, but it's an original score. I was like, okay, like original score, you know, like, it's basically exactly the same, but
Yeah, they borrowed a lot. That's for sure.
yeah, but and like I do like the parallel of the killer kind of having like the dual personality kind of thing too. Like that's interesting.
Agreed.
And like a cool departure from Halloween, which is like very much like Michael Myers is like a supernatural kind of force, where in this pre Jason, you know,
Yeah,
Mrs.
pre-supernatural.
Voorhees is a person, you know.
Yeah.
It's kind of an interesting twist, which isn't common among like the slasher movies. Like usually it's some sort of like evil force, you know, that's like unstoppable. So
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, some of the other deaths in this movie are brutal, like Marcy getting an axe through the face.
yeah,
Like
that's a
that
really really good one too.
yeah, the effect is really like Makeup's really good. You got Brenda who gets killed off screen, where she's like getting tormented by Mrs. Voorhees with the lights and everything like that. I thought she was going to get some arrows into her. Like,
Yeah.
You know, like that's.
I'm surprised we didn't get to see that one. Like,
I know.
that's the one I feel like you got ripped off a little bit. But
It was too much for the budget.
yeah.
It's what's cool is like these characters, like Steve. When Steve gets killed, he knows Mrs. Voorhees. So it's
Yeah.
cool that you're like, oh, like these people know when it's like that POV shot. It's like people know who this is. So like, who is it? It keeps you guessing. But it's cool because it's like usually in like a lot of horror movies, they introduce you to the killer in the beginning and you don't know who it is, and then you're like, oh, it's that person from the beginning of the movie. Like, oh,
Like a
they don't-
Scooby Doo episode.
yeah, or like Psych.
Yes, like Psych.
Yeah. But then you get Bill who gets killed and he's like hung on the door and his like throat's slit and he's got the arrows through him. Those effects are great. Apparently there's like some fake blood that got in his eye and like literally blinded him for like several hours, which is crazy.
Jeez.
Yeah. And then you think Mrs. Voorhees comes to the rescue, but she talks about Jason drowning and, oh, it's the camp counselor's fault. All they're doing is fucking around. And like, you know, like it's an interesting take that she, like you said, she has that split personality. Like Jason's in a sense possessing her to kill these people. But I the fight scene is great. And then the head chop off is my favorite part of the movie.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Like, yeah, it's like that slow mo, just machete to the dome, and the head's just doop, off in slow motion. What do you think of the ending with her like having that nightmare that Jason comes out of the water and grabs her and pulls her in?
Yeah,
like, that's
so
super cool.
I was like 80% sure that was going to happen. But I was like, maybe I'm remembering like part 2 or part 3. like that, like clips I had seen, at some point.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, it happened. I was like, yeah, my wife like jumped like 10 feet in the air. She was like,
Really?
yeah, she was not ready for that.
Does she like scary movies?
No, she hates scary movies. So,
How'd she do besides that jump scare?
I mean, this movie's not like scary.
No.
That's probably the scariest part because you're expecting it to just fade to black and then he jumps out of the water.
Yeah, and that they kind of stole that from Carrie, which I've actually never seen. Carrie, directed by David Palmer. It's 24. David De Palma.
I didn't know he directed that.
Yeah, Brian De Palma. That's like apparently. Spoiler alert for the ending. She reaches up out of the earth and grabs one of the character's arms, and he was like, "That's basically a ripoff of my movie, but I like it."
Yeah.
And so Sean S. Cunningham never intended to make this a franchise. He actually didn't want to make the sequel. He was asked to make it, and he declined, and he regretted it because it's obviously spawned so many sequels and been a very successful, very iconic franchise. He was like, "That's stupid to have Jason come back from the dead. Like, that's dumb."
I mean, it kind of is, but
Well, yeah, it gets into that supernatural effect where it's like you gotta suspend some disbelief to
well, I mean,
enjoy
like,
people getting killed.
if you watch this movie and then you watch the rest of the franchise, like the rest of the franchise kind of bucks the entire concept of the first movie. It's like, I mean, whatever, but obviously, like, people love it, and like Jason's iconic, probably the most iconic slasher villain. Probably a toss up between him and Michael Myers.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. It's like Halloween obviously spawned a franchise too, but it wasn't
Not
I've
as
not-
prolific for sure, but
I guess, yeah, I don't know. And like the newer, like the reboot with Jamie Lee Curtis in it, like the first one was awesome. The second and third sucked so bad. At least in my opinion. And like I love David Gordon Green. I think he's a great director, and Danny McBride helped create it, and I love Danny McBride. But I don't know. It's just like they're supposedly going to make a Camp Crystal Lake TV series on it. But it's been in development hell for like a long time. They were supposed to make a sequel to the 2009 reboot, but never did. And there's like rights issues and studio issues and all that stuff.
which
So it's
that
been a
one
mess.
is not actually a reboot of this. It's more like a reboot of part 2
Yeah,
because Jason's mom isn't
yeah,
in that one at all.
yeah. And then Freddy versus Jason was pretty interesting because
That was supposed to kick off a whole like thing too, wasn't it?
yeah, they were supposed to have Ash from Evil Dead in it too,
Which
like
would've
down the
been
road, which
hilarious.
is like crazy. Did I ever ask you if you ever watched the Ash versus Evil Dead TV show?
Yeah, it's so good.
You watched it?
Yeah,
It's so good.
yeah,
It's
great.
like the best thing ever.
It's
I
only
need to-
like
I wanna
2 or
rewatch
3
it.
seasons, so like
It's 3
it's definitely
seasons,
worth
yeah.
watching. Yeah,
It's so good because it's like actually scary. It's so bloody and it's so funny.
Yeah,
It, like,
it's so goofy.
I'd argue it's better than the movies,
yeah, I would say so.
and the movies are great. I love the movies.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's pretty interesting that this movie is so different for the rest. It makes me want to watch the other movies. Like I want to watch all the movies.
well, part 2 and part 3 are still 80s, right?
Yeah,
At least
I think there's. Oh yeah, there's. Let's
might
see.
even be part 2, 3, and 4 are all.
Might be up to part 9. Let's see. Part 2 is 81. Part 3 is 82. Part 4 is 84 is final chapter, which is funny because it's not the final chapter.
In any
New
way.
Blood is 88. Oh, is this a new beginning? 85. There's part 5. Yeah, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 other
in
movies.
the 80s. Jeez.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah, I'll have to rewatch all this. Oh wait, no, there's more than 5. Holy shit. Jesus. Yeah, there's up to part 8.
Jeez.
So there's... Holy fuck.
So the 90s only had 1,
Jason Goes to Hell 90s, which is 9.
and Jason X is like early 2000s.
2003, I think, or 2001, I think. Yeah, it's
Jeez.
2001, and then Freddy vs. Jason is 2003. What's funny is in the 9th one, Jason Goes to Hell, that's where they teased Freddy vs. Jason, where at the end of it, Jason's mask is in this like pile of dirt or sand, and Freddy Krueger's claw comes up and grabs his mask and pulls it down, which is sick. It's so cool. But yeah, I mean, I would love to rewatch them for sure. Again, I've only seen them once. I mean, they all are pretty much B-rate, they're B-level movies.
Yeah.
So,
Bang, it's like that's kind of why people love them, I think.
yeah, for sure.
They're not very I mean, like the Nightmare on Elm Street movies are the same, where like they're not very serious.
No,
So like
no.
it's fun and like creepy and scary, so
And there's
It's
like,
like
there's like 6 or 7 of those.
yeah.
There's a lot.
There's a
And
lot of those
I've
too.
seen all those. Except I don't think I've seen the reboot. Because Robert Englund is Freddy Krueger to me, and not Jack Earl Hurley or Healy
I
or
like
whatever
the
his name is.
reboot, but it's a very serious take on the
Him as-
material,
It's like he's like super child molesty.
Well, no, but I mean it's like genuinely scary, and there's no like goofy like one-liner, kind of things. Like
Yeah.
it's like genuinely like a creepy and scary movie. So
I'll have to watch it.
it's worth watching. But
Nice. I'll have to check it out. So this horror month, we're gonna continue with Maniac Cop, which we both have not seen. Hellraiser, which have you seen that?
yeah,
I have
but
not
it's
seen
been
it.
a very long time.
Gotcha. I have not seen it. Ironically, especially since I've seen like every horror movie, I never went through the Hellraiser series at all.
That's
and then
Clive Barker, right?
correct. Yep. Baker? Clive Baker? Barker?
I thought it was Barker.
I think you're
I
right.
could be wrong.
Let's see.
Yeah, Barker.
Yeah, Barker. And then we've got Sleepaway Camp, which I've never seen. I don't believe you've seen either.
Nope.
That's so all slasher movies. So what's cool is, I mean, I haven't seen the rest of these coming out, and you've not seen any of them.
Yes.
So should be a fun October. Hopefully these are scary and good. I'm looking forward to it. What do you think, Jake? Are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, I mean, these are all like slasher. Well, Maniac Cop I'd never heard of, so I'm excited to watch that one. Then like Sleepaway Camp is another one that, though I don't. That one I think is kind of unserious too.
I
But,
think so too.
I mean, it should be at least fun to watch.
Yeah.
And then Hellraiser is just like weird as hell, so it'll
Yeah.
be fun.
I'm excited to watch all these. So, should be a good October. Hopefully, you guys watch along with us and get scared or have a good time. So, we hope you enjoyed this episode of Friday the 13th. And maybe you got scared, maybe you didn't. But hopefully, you enjoyed this. Thank you guys for listening, watching, and we'll catch you next week.
Yep. See ya.